Hello and welcome to Serenity, Peace and Comfort. My name is Serenity and welcome to part 2 of medical preps you haven't thought of. Today we are going to focus on the mouth and the teeth, mostly dental preps. But before we begin, I do want to tell you I'm not a doctor, not a medical professional, not a dentist. So what I'm sharing with you today is just what I use and what I would recommend to you. You need to go to your own doctors or medical professionals or dentists and take this information and do what's best for you. So let's begin. This device is called the dechoker. You just fit it over your face, you pull this out quickly, and it extracts whatever you were choking on like that. I think I only paid about maybe 40 bucks for it, but I believe this is truly worth it. It comes in 3 sizes, and children, men, women, there's a dechoker for every size. And if you live alone, you want the dechoker. If you have an elderly parent or relative, you want them to have the dechoker. I know we all think the Heimlich maneuver is going to work in every situation and scenario, but wouldn't it be so much better to have something like this? I think it's a great company. They put out videos all the time on YouTube showing you how it works, telling you all about the company, and they give you great testimonials of people who've been saved with this device. So as you can imagine, this is a great medical prep you didn't know of and you should have in your arsenal. Now we're going to move on and go into our mouth and talk about dental preps. You really don't hear much about this on prepper channels and such. Whenever they talk about preps, it's all about gauze. For some reason, all these preppers love to buy tons and tons of gauze. I guess that's great if you're expecting gunshot wounds all the time, but in real life scenarios, you're probably more likely to get a really bad toothache or cavity in an SHTF scenario. So let's prevent and focus on that. So many of us think if we have these items in our medical dental arsenal that we are prepped and ready for SHTF. But there is so much more we can do. This is a good beginning, but let's take a look at all the other things you should have in your medical dental arsenal. So to begin, yes, a lot of you have lots of your toothpaste, and that's a good thing, but I think you should diversify your toothpastes because different toothpastes have different jobs to do. So, for example, I have Gum Detoxify and Gum Restore. Just because your gums are fine now doesn't mean in a stressful SHTF scenario you won't have any problems to fight off or ward off. Especially if you're aging, your teeth and your mouth changes as you age. You lose bone, your gums can shrink, and your teeth can shift. So we should be able to address all of those situations within our preps. So I keep different kinds of toothpaste for different kinds of problems. Next, I have Parodontax, which is a toothpaste for bleeding gums. My gums are fine now, but who's to say what happens in the future? It's good to be prepared for anything that could happen in the future. I also have Pronamel, to build up the enamel on your teeth. If you drink coffee, soda, kombucha, anything like that is high acid and it will take the enamel off your teeth. So Pronamel will help strengthen the enamel of your teeth. So a very good prep to have. Sensodyne, because your teeth do also get very sensitive. So this is another great one to have on hand. And this is just another one I added. This is just a healthy toothpaste, which just has a lot of herbs in it. Calcium carbonate, along with colloidal silver. It's got some really interesting ingredients that make using toothpaste such a healthy experience because there's no fluoride. So these are all different toothpastes to have in your dental arsenal. Now, speaking of gums, I also have, this is a gum serum with tea tree oil that will help keep your gums bacteria free and keep them strong. So this is a great thing to have. Now, also, I keep some tooth powder on hand because what are you going to do when your toothpaste runs out? What's your next step? What do you do? So I keep this will keep forever, this tooth powder. But when this runs out, then what do? Next step is you will use baking powder. People have used baking powder for a long time before there was toothpaste. So this would be your next step. And I'll include a recipe in the description of making your own toothpaste if you are in an emergency situation. So it's all such good stuff to have. Just keep this in mind. Now, you may wonder, well, what did people do hundreds of years ago before there was any baking powder or baking soda? Well, people used salt. At least it was better than nothing. They would take branches from a willow tree and cut them so that they have, it looks like a brush, and they would brush their teeth with the salt and the willow stick. Well, I guess it was better than nothing. I know they also used parsley to kind of kill their bad breath and everything, but you know, obviously in those days it was your teeth rotted and they pulled them out. That was your last resort. But hopefully with all of our preps, we won't have to go there. So, moving on, we will move on to, this is Dentex repair kits. So if your fillings come out, which is very possible, if your caps come off, which is very possible, at least you'll have something that will hold it all together. Of course, we always hope these things never happen, but in an SHTF scenario, anything can happen. So these are inexpensive and good to have. It'll kind of bond it all together for as long as, you know, as long as you hopefully need it to, or at least hopefully until you can get it fixed somehow. So this is great to have. Next, this is a great product that I love. This is MI Paste, and this remineralizes your teeth. So I'm a coffee drinker, so my enamel needs extra help. So this is wonderful. A little dab that you put over your teeth, and wonderful minty taste, and it really does do the job of strengthening your teeth. Great thing to have. So a lot of you have a water pick, and that's awesome, and I'm sure your dentist is proud of you. But what are you going to do with that water pick if there's no more electricity? Well, you get a water pick that is battery operated. I love this thing, and this is going to ward off so many problems. So no matter what, you will still be able to maintain good dental health just because doing something so simple like getting an electrical-free, battery-operated water pick. So I think I paid $35 for it, somewhere in that range. So again, affordable and worth having. Okay, moving on. Well, let's talk about when you have so much dental pain. The chances of you getting a cavity in an SHTF scenario, it's high. So we need something to deal with that pain. So we have Anbesol, And we have, this is eugenol oil. I'm not sure exactly what eugenol is. I don't know if that's like a clove oil. Clove has always been used for dental problems, so if you can't get eugenol oil, just buy clove oil. But you want to have enough of this on hand for any kind of problem with your teeth that really is difficult to endure with the pain. So pick these up. Next, this is an interesting product. This is called Flora Assist, and this is oral hygiene supplements, and what they do is they help eliminate the bad bacteria in your mouth that causes so many of these teeth problems. So these are chewable. You just suck on them. They're probiotic, and this didn't cost me much at all. So like everything else, it'll be down below in the description, but you should definitely pick some of these bottles up. Next, this is a little kit of dental tools. It was fairly inexpensive, but it has basically what dentists use. It's got the mirror. It's got all kinds of picks. And it's got scrapers. And it's got the tweezers. So it's a basic dental kit. Now, of course, you always purchase this with the hope that you never need it. But we live in reality, so it's always best to be prepared. So I keep these tools wrapped up to keep them clean and sterile, but with the hope that I never have to use it. Now, God forbid, if you do have to use those tools, what are you going to do with them? And how are you going to handle any kind of dental problem? Well, I recommend this book. It's called Where There Are No Dentists. And this is all about how healthcare workers and people from around the world take care of their teeth when there is no dentist around. I definitely recommend this. It also tells you how to use those tools in an emergency situation. And it's so interesting that there are ways to handle these emergencies, kind of crude, but it's better than nothing. So I recommend this book, Where There Is No Dentist by Murray Dixon. So look into these. Now, my last prep is a new prep that I just got. So I'll let you know eventually how it works. I saw an ad for an interesting tool made out of pure copper. It was called the Copper Zap, kind of shaped like a Q-tip. And you would take this tool and just kind of smear the inside of your nose and the back of your throat with it, just as you feel a tickle coming on. So if it's a cold or a flu, the minute you feel something, you get the Copper Zap and you swab inside your nose and inside the back of your throat. And apparently, copper kills viruses and bacteria just as they're forming. So that sounded like a fabulous tool to have. The only problem is, it was around $70. That was not doable for me. So I decided, there's got to be a better way around this. If it's just pure copper, I can buy a cheaper pure copper. And I did. I found a very interesting tool that can do double duty. It's a copper tongue scraper, which you should have in your medical preps, much better than a plastic one. And then the ends are nice and round, and you can use these just like the Copper Zap, swabbing the inside of your nose and swabbing the inside of your throat. The copper will change color over time, but that doesn't change the effectiveness. And this, I think I only paid, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks for. So I paid a third of what the Copper Zap was asking for. Now, you may still want to check out the Copper Zap, so I put the information below in the description. And there are doctors that say copper will do what the Copper Zap says it will do. So apparently Copper really can play an important role in not only preventing dental problems, but health problems as well. So, can't hurt to have one of these. So, I'm going to be starting to use this, so hopefully we'll see how it works out. So, that's it for now, but let me end with this. Your best medical or dental prep is always going to be your Bible. Your Bible contains hundreds of scriptures on health, and with that, you can conquer any health problem that you have. The Bible works, so that's the #1 prep I would recommend to you. But that's it for now. Now, get ready for part 3. That's coming soon. In about maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you'll have part 3 under your belt, and then after that, part 4. I hope you're enjoying all these incredible preps that you really haven't thought about. But now you realized you've got to get them for your arsenal. So, thank you so much for joining me today. It was great having you in the world of serenity, peace, and comfort. Please hit that subscribe button. You know how much it means to us content creators to get our videos out there to the public. And that only happens if you participate by hitting the like button, sharing this with other preppers, and subscribing. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I hope this really helped you today. Don't forget, look down below in the description for all these things so you can fill up that dental arsenal of yours, and you'll sleep well knowing that you're prepared for whatever happens in the future. See you soon. God bless.